50 years ago, the Florida legislature passed a form of voluntary as well as involuntary commitment. It's called the Baker Act. It's intended to provide help to those who are having mental illness and also protect the general public. While it was written, of course, with good intentions, there are now concerns about potential abuses. We're taking a closer look in our HealthCast today. For the past 5 years, drug and alcohol attorney Mark Astor has focused his practice on getting people into treatment for substance abuse and mental illness through a variety of means, including sometimes utilizing the Baker Act.
It's a very useful tool when someone's in need of emergency, an emergency response.
The purpose of the act was to give law enforcement and qualified professionals, such as emergency room doctors, the power to initiate an emergency stabilization period of up to 72 hours without having to go to the courthouse. But since COVID, Astor says he has seen an unsettling trend.
We've seen a huge uptick in people suffering from anxiety, from depression. Perhaps they've had a relapse of some type.
Which means more people may reach out to a clinician, go to an emergency room, or even call police for help.
And what's happened is those people who perhaps didn't meet criteria to be held for 72 hours are being held, and they're being held longer than that.
For medical privacy reasons, patient records are confidential. But ironically, that can actually compound abuses of the Baker Act.
So when somebody goes to a Baker Act facility, who knows they're even there? Really just the facility and maybe the family and the person who's been taken. But the judges don't know about it. Nobody with authority to order them released knows about it. No one's watching to see whether that 72-hour clock has even started to tick.
Astor says in cases of concern, time is of the essence.
So you got to understand, you're battling the state here, and you need a judge to intervene to make sure the state doesn't abuse the process.
But if you are in crisis, mental health experts agree you should never hesitate. Call 211, the suicide prevention hotline, or get yourself or your loved one to an emergency room for potential stabilization under the Baker Act.